Hello and welcome to another Mad Mammal Monday. Today, zebras, the iconic black and white striped horse that runs around the plains of Africa in great numbers in a large herd. We have three species still in existence on this planet. We have the Crypsis zebra, we have the plain zebra, and the mountain zebra. They're in the same family as horses and donkeys, and they can hybridize with these animals. And their hybridized zebra is called a zebroid. Zeboid? Now there is an individual name for each hybrid, so a zebra horse is a zorse, a zebra pony is a zoni, and a zebra donkey is a zonky, which sounds like a terrible mashup between Shaggy and Velma from the Scooby-Doo. Now, as I said, these three species, they have slight individual differences. Now you can tell by the names. The mountain zebra lives up on the high rocky steppes in the mountain areas where there's a little less water and a little less easy to come by resources. What these guys do is males basically compete and take over a territory, often near watering holes and near resources, and then they protect the females in that area. So they basically set up different stations, and one male will aggressively guard his females. As that's the mountain zebra. The plain zebra and the Crypsis zebra, they have almost like a harem fashion. So they're all one big herd, and a male will basically collect females. And if you ever see a line of zebras walking, obviously the herd moves as a whole. If you see a line of zebras walking, you'll have the male at the very back and his first female at the very front, and then it's a hierarchical order back, so his newest female is at the back just in front of him. So that's a fun one. If you ever see like a line of zebras, you now know who's who. And of course, the most iconic thing about zebras is their stripes. So, what do we know about their stripes? Well, the stripes are individual. They are as unique as fingerprints. And in the gestation period, or the pregnancy period of the zebra, which is 11 to 13 months, the stripes are shown on the embryo, are developed on the embryo at about the 8-month mark. But the pattern of the stripes is seen earlier than that. It's seen anywhere between 3 to 5 weeks, depending on species. So, why do they have stripes and what does it do? There are a number of theories about this. So, the first one being the Crypsis theory. So, something has different colours and kind of lines that don't quite add up. It breaks up the outline. It makes it very difficult to see, particularly at night. So, obviously, a black and white animal at night, it's difficult to see the outline, it's difficult to judge the size and also the distance and the way it's moving. So it's used as a predatory defense. So it's more difficult for them to be hunted by the lions at night, which is their active hunting period. The second theory is the confusion technique. So when you have a large herd of these animals, it's very difficult to identify one individual in the moving herd. Again, moving, trying to judge the direction of the shape that you can't quite fully see the outline of, and then trying to pick one out of a crowd makes it more difficult for the predators to hunt them. The third theory as to why they have stripes is thermoregulation, trying to manage their body temperature. So within the areas of Africa, obviously we would consider it a very hot country, but it's hot in the day and cooler at night, and this variation in colour, the black and the white, allows them to regulate their temperature better, or has some effect on their thermoregulation. The fourth one, which is an interesting story behind it, is the fly confusion theory. The theory that being striped like this makes it more difficult for flies to successfully land on the zebra, and in the case of biting flies, they transfer a lot of diseases around between these equine species. So if you're less easy to bite, that's obviously good for disease defense. They did test this. They took some plain white cows and painted black stripes on them, and they had significantly less problem, a significantly reduced problem with flies, or significantly less bites on them compared to cows that were not painted. So this theory works. So I'm going to finish up a little bit here with their status, their ecological status. The ICUN Red List between 2016 and 2019 rated these zebras in the following order. They rated the plain zebra as near threatened, the mountain zebra at vulnerable, and the Crypsis zebra at endangered at the time of... So they are a species that are struggling. And that could be for any number of reasons. Changing climate, obviously leading to changing watercourses, so in their migration, which is the longest of any land mammal in Africa, of 500 kilometers. They do a lot of that distance by memory of landmarks and where they want to go. And of course, if the resources, if the water has changed and it's not in the same place as it always was, problem. Now they suddenly can't find water. Also, increased population across Africa and urbanization, changing migration routes, all these sort of things have effects on the population. And of course, the offspring, when they are born precocial, which means they are developed fully within the womb, which means within the first hour of being born, they can get up and run. Very common in in species that are heavily preyed upon, or prey species, and also those with hooves. Thank you for joining me for this Mad Mammal Monday. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see next.